The South African Amateur Championships took place at the Mount Edgecombe Country Club Estate from the 19th to the 24th of February. The men's event, which dates back to 1892, and women's event sits proudly on the GolfRSA international calendar.
The South African amateurs are a very important part of GolfRSA's tournament setup. So having men and women playing in this tournament is very important to us. You know, it's nice to see young girls coming through, young boys coming through the ranks and competing in these tournaments, and it really allows us to take advantage of the benefits of a venue such as this.
The men's event began with a 36-hole SA Amateur Stroke Play qualifier. The action took place at the Woods course at Mount Edgecombe, one of two wonderful layouts on the estate. Reigning amateur champion Aldrich Potgieter, coming off his win at the African Amateur and looking to add more silverware, was in fine form and carded a bogey-free 61 in the final round to set the early clubhouse target on 13 under par.
The front nine was pretty steady. I made 3 birdies and just pars all around, so that was pretty nice, solid. And then on the back nine, I started hitting them close. I think I had 3 holes in a row that I was 2 feet away from the hole, so that was quite nice.
But having captured the South African Stroke Play Championship title only days earlier, Frenchman Martin Couvra was also looking to make history on South African soil. Couvra signed for a 13 under par total, thanks to a glittering final round 63, and in doing so ensured the title would be decided in extra time. The pair would battle it out in a sudden death playoff. The stakes were high and the pressure was on. They started on the first hole, a par 4, which both parred, taking the contest to the short second. Having hit a 6-iron long, Potgieter had this for birdie to put pressure on his French opponent. It wasn't to be for the young South African, who could only look on as Couvra had a birdie putt for the title. Having putted well throughout at Mount Edgecombe, Martin Couvra had this 20-footer for birdie to seal the deal. He made no mistake and became the first French winner of the Proudfoot Trophy.
Yeah, it was difficult. Aldrich played very well and he missed a putt on the first one. And me, I put my putts. I put it's a good one on the second one and I won the playoff. It's a very nice match. I think it's a very good player. I'm the first French player on this cup and maybe another French player win this tournament.
That's how things finished for the Stroke Play qualifier, with Tyrone Davidovitz in third on his own at 10 under par. But after a playoff, the winner, Martin Couvra. A great feature of the week is that while the men battled it out for the match play title, the women competed for 2 titles. The South African Women's Amateur Match Play Championship Flight Division was very closely contested. Germany's Stephanie Kiefer, an example of the international attraction the championship holds, made it through 4 match play rounds to reach the final. Having been dominant throughout and despite playing some wonderful golf in the final, Kiefer couldn't overcome her young South African opponent. 17-year-old Jemima Ullyett proved to be a tough opponent. Ullyett edged another KwaZulu-Natal local, Sveva Yates, to reach her first final. Ullyett beat Kiefer 2-up to claim the Flight Division title.
My nerves obviously get to me when people are up, and then I just keep my head straight and then I win one back, go to all square and then just carry on from there. It feels amazing. I've never won anything this big before. It feels, huge.
With the South African Stroke Play Championship and the Proudfoot Trophy already secured, Martin Couvra had the opportunity to write even more history at Mount Edgecombe by adding the South African Amateur Championship into the mix. To become the SA Amateur Champion is extremely challenging, having to beat 5 opponents just to advance to the final. He achieved exactly that in what was proving to be a watershed week for the French national squad player. Only Kyle De Beer stood between him and adding South Africa's premier amateur title to his growing collection. In his semi-final match, De Beer overcame US mid-amateur champion Matthew McLean 2-1.
It's been mainly down to mental strength. I've got a great caddy who obviously helps a lot. Really haven't been playing great. I played a little bit better today, I'd say. But yeah, I've just kept myself in the fight long enough until my opponent makes a mistake and then I pounce. And so far it's been working quite well. It's such a prestigious event. It's probably the biggest amateur event we have in the country, or at least one of the big 3. To win it last year was probably the highlight of my career so far. To do it twice would be life-changing, it would be amazing, but I've got 36 holes tomorrow first to actually get it done, so I'm focused on the first tee shot at the moment.
The final was a matchup between Martin Couvra and Kyle de Beer, and this is how they got there, both with comfortable opening round victories mixed with tight matchups along the way. The women's match play final took place between Elandri van Heerden and Kyra van Kan. Van Heerden had a very memorable week at Mount Edgecombe. The 15-year-old remained undefeated with a semi-final victory on the 20th hole to edge Bobby Brown. She earned her spot to face GolfRSA No. 1 Kyra van Kan for the title. 17-year-old Van Kan produced some sensational golf throughout the final. After two previous runner-up finishes, the country's top amateur lived up to her billing and proved yet again just what a talent she is.
I was playing really well. I set myself up for birdies and all the putts were dropping, putting really well. But yeah, I just had confidence out there and I knew what I was capable of. And yeah, I just really had fun. So yeah, I just played nicely and went with the flow. I was a bit emotional walking off that last green that I played because it's just such a relief. I've been out for this trophy for a very long time, so to finally get the win, it really means a lot to me.
With the winner looking to join an illustrious list of past champions, the men's match play final promised to be a tough contest. Kyle de Beer's name was already on the trophy, but in his way stood 19-year-old Frenchman Martin Couvra, who found himself in the form of his life at Mount Edgecombe. De Beer got off to a strong start, and through 15 holes, he held the lead. However, a pair of bogeys gave Couvra the advantage. After 18 holes, De Beer trailed one down, but with his talent and experience, was still very much in the match. It was all square through 22 of the 36 holes, but Couvra then found his groove and ultimately denied De Beer the opportunity to successfully defend his title. The man from Caen birdied the 23rd and 24th holes to take command of the final, and he never looked back. Couvra secured the title 3-2, and with that made it a clean sweep at Mount Edgecombe.
Kyle de Beer is a very, very nice player. He don't miss a shot during all of this day. And my putting was not very good. It was a very, very nice match against him. And it's funny because I played with him during the qualification. It's very good to play against him on the final.
The moment Martin Couvra made history, the SA Stroke Play Championship, the Proudfoot Trophy and the SA Amateur Championship all in his possession. The first player to win all three events in full regulation play in the same calendar year.
I'm very happy to play these three events, and it's just incredible to win these three trophies these 2 weeks. I take some good time with my caddy on the course, and it was very, very incredible.
After a memorable week at Mount Edgecombe, thank you to everyone who made the SA Amateur Championships such a huge success.